Hello, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm working on a scrapbook layout that I titled Sweet Treat, and I'm scrapping a number of photos, and I'm using the digital scrapbooking kit Ain't Life Sweet by Jenn Barrette from Sweetshoppe Designs. And so this is a 6x6 scrapbook layout, which is double-sided or double page, and so it's actually a 6x12 layout, but on 2 pages, which will go into a 6x6 mini album eventually. So here I have 2 strips of paper, or larger pieces of paper, I should say, that will go on the opposite sides, and I'm trying to kind of mirror both pages a little bit. And then there are these other 2 papers, and then they will be connected with one middle piece there. As always, I prepared my page in Silhouette Studio, which is a free software, and prepared everything for printing, then printed it out and cut actually with my hand in this case, because there wasn't much that required me to pull out my silhouette. I do print and cuts and get pretty good results with that, but I don't use the official print and cut feature that comes with the silhouette. I just use my own way, and if you're interested in knowing how to do that, there's a video that explains how I get perfect print and cuts on my channel, so you can check it out, and it is linked up in the description box below. So anyway, here I am now connecting the 2 pages, so I have to make sure the 2 pages line up very well, so that it works, and then I can basically use that middle paper there to connect the 2 pages. And in the end, obviously, I will have to cut apart the 2 pages again, but for now I'm comfortable working with this page as a whole, or this double page spread as a whole, and adding more things. Here I am trying to determine where is the center of the page, so because it'll be cut apart, and I don't want the photos to be ending up where I need to cut them apart in this case, because they can go very nicely on 2 on one side and then the other one on the other side there. And so this is something that I always pay attention to as I print and as I put the pages together. And here I'm doing the same thing with the other side, with a photo that goes on the other side there. The circle, I use one of my circle dies, so I use the size when I create the page in the Silhouette Studio software. I make sure that my circles actually match my circle dies. I have a whole bunch of them, so I can use different sizes, but I don't go in between because I don't like wasting printing ink. But I'm also I do like to use different sizes, and you see even here I am using different sizes of circles, as you see with that other circle there, that is an element piece, and so I just use different ones of my circle dies there. I do like to use my dies because they do give a little pop, and often have a faux stitching. Also, the papers that I use, I always run a card along the edges just to stress the edges, so to give a little more dimension to my pages. Then I also stamped a flower there, and then fussy cut it, and then I have a whole bunch of little flowers that I just use some of my other dies for cutting those. And then I used an alpha die to get the title there. And what I do, because my cardstock colors are very limited, and so what I often do is I still print a smaller, just like a strip of paper of just solid color that I pick with a color picker from the papers that I'm using. I'm working in Silhouette, as I said before, and so then I create this little, just a rectangle piece that is large enough so that I can maybe use it to cut out some flowers and cut out some title work or something. So I have done this on numerous of my layouts. It gives me basically some solid color, like cardstock, without it actually being the solid color cardstock, and they're often enough to just get enough of the elements but not waste too much of my printing ink there. So the flower, you see whatever flowers here are, I've used with that, and the title I used the solid color printing, just piece of rectangle paper there. And then my printer was a little messed up and just stopped printing in the middle of something there. I think it got disconnected to my computer or something, and it had already started with that stripe paper. So I decided to use whatever that stripe paper bit that it had already started printing to use for my flowers as well. So some of the flowers are striped and giving a little pattern. It's just the same pattern that's already on the page, and so that works for me. And I basically used up that little extra strip of paper without actually wasting it, and so that was all right for me too. So here I am now gluing down that title piece, and then I have a stamped word that says sweet, and so I just use that as an additional title, although I do realize that with the black and white background paper there, that word sweet might get a little lost. Sometimes when the patterns are too crazy, that gets a little crazy there too, but it's all right. I do like using pattern papers and letting them shine. Then there's this ice cream cone that I stamped and then just colored with colored pencils. And then in my silhouette library, I also have this, it's a cut file, but instead of cutting them in individual pieces, I just decided to just pick the color from the pattern papers and just put it together already, and then you just printed it, not without cutting anything, just fussy cut it with my hand, and then basically printed 2 ice cream cones with that, and so that worked as well. So here I am now finishing up my page, and I'm flipping it around to cut it apart, and this is my page spread done. I'm going to leave you with some more close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.